Well, good evening, everybody. So we're back at it tonight. Last night we showed you draw boring on these top plates. Tonight I'm going to be cutting the joinery for the wall post in the braces and the bottoms of these plates. I've got one done already. You guys saw that first off. 3 more to go. I have one that's a little bit out of square that I'll have to deal with. It's actually quite a bit out of square, to be quite honest with you, to give you full disclosure and no bullshit here. But my mistake, I goofed up. We move on, we get it done. But as in every video where we're cutting joinery, we're laying anything out, cardinal rule, reference face, adjacent face, take all measurements from both, or the arris of those where the 2 points meet, square off of each of those, and so on and so forth. Fortunately, 3 of these top plates are beautifully square to the point where I have no daylight on the square anywhere, all 4 sides, so we're good to go. But like I said before, reference faces to the outside of the building, that's so everything's flush for your siding, so on and so forth. We'll beat the dead horse because it needs to be beaten. So anyway, we're gonna get to it. Like I said, 3 more to go, and then after that, at some point here very soon, I guess I've got to pony up and build a frame to hoist these up onto the roof, and we'll take you guys along on that. So stay tuned, hope you guys enjoy it. I'd like to thank a viewer, Jeff. I won't say your last name because I don't know how you feel about that, but he noticed that the lighting's been a little difficult out here with the work lights. They're so bright that it's shining a little too bright on the wood. So we're trying to light above us here with some diffusers he sent me on it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But what I wanted to show you guys here is I want to talk about laying out your housing. Now this is going to be a housing in here for a wall post. I don't have the line drawn yet because I want to show you guys something here. It's kind of important to discuss. Now let's see what the actual depth of this thing is, the thickness of it. Okay, so we're 1/8 of an inch under 10 inches on this. So if I were to say I were to measure down 1/2 inch for a 1/2 inch housing here, because that's what my general frame rules, everything's in a 1/2 inch housing. If I were to measure down that 1/2 inch housing from this bottom here, this is not my reference face. When I go to set this top plate on top of a wall post, I'd end up with 1/8 of an inch gap in there. It wouldn't be sitting on top of the post all the way. So what I want to do in order to correct that, and this is how you deal with timbers that are out of whack from your own sawmilling, and as you can see, mine are. I mean, not too bad, at least it's square. But so anyway, from my bottom here, we're going to measure it with this, be a little more accurate. So I'm going to hold 10 inches there, and I'm going to measure up, end up being 9.5 from the arris here. Double check myself. Good there. I'm going to come across them and do the same thing from this side. Remember, this is from the arris, guys. Sorry if my head's blocking the shot here. Now that gives us a little bit of a shallower housing. It's going to be a 3/8 inch housing instead of a 1/2 inch. But kind of important to show that, because like I said, if you don't, it's how important those faces are when you're laying your timbers out. The same thing. I don't want to square off of the bottom, even though this thing's right on the money. See if I can You guys see that? See no daylight there. That's right on the money. I still want to square up. Still want to square up from my reference face. Or from my Eris, I guess we'd... Oop, to connect that. So, like I said, it's just one of those things, you know, that you guys... one of those little things to keep track of while you're doing this if you're laying out square rule. If this was all perfectly milled timbers, you know, and everything was consistent all the way through, wouldn't be an issue. But for what we're doing and what most of us are doing as hobbyists, you know, a lot of us are milling our own stuff, so kind of important to keep that in mind when you're laying this out. Alright guys, the wind's coming up. Looks like we've got some rain moving in, so it's time to pick the tools up. But we got a couple more done tonight. 2 more left to do, and should be pretty well on schedule, depending on the weather, to set these top plates this weekend. Looking forward to it, and I bet you, hope you guys are too. So anyway, a little more, some more layout tidbits in there. Again, if you guys have any questions, I can answer a lot of the basic ones. For more advanced stuff, look around the Timber Framer Guild, the Timber Framing Guild forums, the Forestry Forum, the Timber Frame Guild website. There is a bunch of them out there that have some really good advanced information. There's also some books you can get. Steve Chappell's got a few out, Jack Soban. Those are a couple of the authors that you really want to look at. I believe Will Beamer, may have one. So, you know, look around. You guys could find the information you need to do this. But anyhow, I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you're picking up some information to help you in your own projects. And I will catch you on the next one.